guys, May here, and today I am doing a couple of videos that I've really wanted to do for a while, and this one is my top Infinite albums. I need to pack all of my albums and books probably tonight or tomorrow, and I really wanted to film a couple of videos with albums before I had to package them up until who knows when. Today I thought I would do my top Infinite and Super Junior albums, and this is based off of everything on the album, not just the title track. I've done my top Infinite and Super Junior title track videos before, so I will leave links to both of those in the description. You can check both of those out, even though this is the Infinite one, but I will make a Super Junior one and leave links to both the Infinite and Super Junior ones below as well, so you can just watch all of them at the same time, all of them together. It's just, you can just marathon them. I decided that I didn't want to count subunit albums, I didn't want to count Japanese albums, because Infinite has a second full-length Japanese album that has a lot of new tracks on it. It's more original Japanese songs than not, but their first album is all older songs, and Super Junior has one full-length Japanese album as a group, and I really just didn't want to include it because it's probably like 70-30 in the older remake songs to new songs kind of ratio. So also I feel like subunits tend to go with their own style, and I kind of wanted to just focus on the main group for both of these videos, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I have Infinite with me here today. I just have season 2 and Over the Top here, so I don't have Paradise or Back because I just didn't feel like grabbing them. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the list now because I have 9 things to go through. It's 9 things, all of their Korean releases. I'm counting Korean singles too, so coming in at number 9, my least favorite Korean release by Infinite is In Spirit, and that makes me sad because this was a release for the fans, but I've never really been a fan of the song Nothing's Over back when I was getting into Infinite. I listened to this a little bit and I was like, oh, I mean, it's cute, but like I don't really care for the photo book concept too much. I don't really care for the concept. The music video is funny. I like the music video. Shot is an okay song. I feel like I don't listen to it that much. And then the third track on this was a remake of Can You Smile, which I really like, but I'm not counting it towards this album because it's on another one of their albums. The songs are okay, and I think it was Willem experimenting and saying, do we really want to make them be like dark all the time? And I'm pretty sure that this single told them yes. There's really no hairstyle for any of the members that I miss either. I kind of miss Wooyeon's a little bit. Wooyeon's was pretty cute, but besides that, I don't know. Like, when you look at this photo of the 91 liners, you have Wooyeon over here. Like, I kind of miss that hair on him. So that also plays a factor into this as well, but it's a Korean single and it has a lot less songs than, like a lot less new songs than every other thing that they've released, so that's why this is at number 9. Number 8 is the album you probably thought was at number 9 because I talk about how much I don't like it so much, but it is Season 2 Infinite's second full-length album. The reason why this is ranked higher than In Spirit is because I do like this album. I do. I really do. I think that the solos on this album are a lot better than Over the Top, and I think that the Infinite H and Infinite F songs are a lot better than the ones on there's no Infinite F on Over the Top, but my problem with this album is, and this is kind of a weird thing, and I didn't really realize this until recently. I was on a plane and I was listening to Season 2 because they are going to perform a lot of songs from Season 2 at the concert, and I was like, well, I should just, like, I haven't listened to Season 2 in a while, so I should. My problem with Season 2 is that I love it all the way through, but every other Infinite release has 1 or 2 songs, sometimes 3 depending on, like, how much I like it, has a song that I'm like, when I see the track list, I'm like, I want to listen to that. And I'm not talking about the title track. This album all the way through was great. It runs through beautifully. I really like the flow of this album, and I really like listening to it all the way through. But the majority of the time, to tell you the truth, when I listen to music, I don't want to listen to something all the way through. I want to listen to songs off of it. Like, I'll listen to the albums all the way through when I get them, and then usually after that I'm like, well, I'll put like everything Infinite on shuffle and go to my favorite songs on each album. That's just kind of the way that I work. So it's not like I think this was a bad album, because all the way through it's perfect, but there's really nothing on it that when I see the track list I'm like, I want to listen to it. It's one of those things that if season 2, the song, comes up on my shuffle, I'm like, I need to listen to the entire album, which is not a problem, but I'm just not the kind of person who usually does that with an album. But it's one of my least favorites because it doesn't have that song. I don't know, that's kind of a weird reason to put it as number 8, but there you go. Number 7 on my list is New Challenge, and New Challenge is above season 2 because it does have a song on it a couple of songs on it that I really, really like, and Inconvenient Truth for me is the song on this album that when I see the track list I'm like, ooh, I want to listen to it. Infinite, as besides New Nothing's Over, which isn't really the same concept, has never done anything like this again. This isn't the Infinite that I know. Music-wise, I definitely hear Infinite when I listen to this song, and I love Man in Love. I think it's a great song. It's one of those things that I just look at it and I'm like, but what are you? What are you? When did this happen? Why did this happen? As Good as It Gets and Inconvenient Truth are the 2 songs that, like I said, for season 2 kind of pull me in and say, hey, listen to this. Beautiful is good. I like this because it has Beautiful on it. I like this which is produced by Wooyeon, so I really like that. I think it's an interesting concept. It's something that I'm not really too big of a fan of. I just feel like they do dark so much better, and it's not like I didn't like this. Considering they released Destiny right after, I feel like they tried the summer concept, they realized it's not a thing, it's not for us, it's really not for us, and then they started thinking about Infinite F, and they were like, we can give this concept to Infinite F because it suits them. Also, one of the smaller reasons that I was gonna say is 60 Seconds Infinite version is on this, and they took a really good SUJU song and tried to make it work for everybody else in Infinite, and I just, you don't mess with good things like that. Number 6 is First Invasion, and one of the reasons that this is pretty low on my list is, for me, First Invasion's a classic, and She's Back's a classic. They're the reason that I fell in love with Infinite, to tell you the truth, so it's not like I can rank this really low, even though my reason for it being low, the reason that this is lower than a lot of their newer stuff is because they have come very, very far since Tashirorowa. They have come very, very far since this. But it's good to listen to this and be like, oh wow, this is what Infinite used to be. This is how they used to sound, and they sound so much more stable. They were great when they debuted, but they were good when they debuted, and now they're really great. I like Wings, I like Fixed Star, I like Entrust, like I said, and Come Back Again and She's Back are awesome title tracks. This was not a thing in 2010. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea in 2010. The hairs. I'm talking about the album. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea in 2010, but that's what they decided was a good idea. And I'm really glad that their hairs have evolved since then too. Next is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated Infinite albums ever. It's Infinitize. I feel like this is very underrated, and I feel like The Chaser is a very, very good song. It also was the 3rd mini album, which was really exciting because they released 2 minis, a single, and then a full length, and the full length 3-pack, and then some Japanese things. So the 3rd mini was like really exciting. It's like how I was excited for the 5th mini because it's been so long since a mini album. I also really, from this album, love the hidden tracks. It was something different, you know? Some different kind of random thing, and I really, really like that about that. In the summer was the hidden track in Over the Top, and so they released a full version of this, which was awesome, and that was so exciting, and that's why I'm so waiting for season 2's hidden track, because season 2's hidden track is actually one of my favorite songs from season 2. Yeah, I got Dongwoo's hidden track on this. That's his hidden tracks on the CD, and it makes me really happy because I love Dongwoo, and I was listening to this all the way through, and I was trying to figure out whose hidden track I got because it's at the end of With, I believe. I don't know if they set it up as its own track, how it like showed up on iTunes. But when I heard his laugh at the beginning, I was like, oh my god, I got Dongwoo's, and it's so cute. Also, fun fact, I still have In the Summer from Over the Top listed as Over the Top hidden track. So I never changed it to like the acoustic version of In the Summer, because that's what it is. That's why this one is number 5, and then number 4, we're getting into my favorite ones. Out of all of my favorite, absolute favorite Infinite albums, this one had to be 4th because it has the least amount of songs on it. I love Destiny. Destiny has more songs on it than In Spirit. It has 4 tracks on it, and all of them had never been released before, and I remember when Destiny came out, I was like, wow, there's 4 songs to listen to on Destiny. The thing about Destiny that I really like is it was filmed in the United States, which I think was really cool. It was something that that's something that when Infinite debuted, I never thought that they would get to the point where they could film a music video in the United States. When they revealed that this had been filmed in the United States, I was like, look at where Infinite are at this point in time. Like, look at them. Look at how far they've come. Photo book in this is gorgeous. I love Noege Kanda, I'm Going to You. It's my favorite song on this single besides Destiny, and Inception and Mom are really, really pretty songs as well. I just really like the concept of Destiny, and after a new challenge, I was worried that their entire style was going to change, and I was like, I liked Man in Love, but I don't want this to be a permanent thing, and this was Willem saying, it's not a permanent thing, we just tried something new, you all can calm down now, here's your dark concept, have fun. And I was like, okay, I will. I remember when I reacted to this, I was like, everybody has so many lines, and it kind of reminds me of Bad. Destiny reminds me of Bad in that sense, because it doesn't seem like there's, you know, the difference between the main vocalist and the regular vocalist, sub-vocalist isn't that much. Number 3, I was wondering if any of you were wondering why I hadn't shown this yet. Did she forget it? Did she film this ridiculously a long time ago and hadn't been out yet? Nope. Filming this right now. Reality. This is number 3 on my list. And the reason for that is because the title track, Bad, is one of my top Infinite title tracks. And I did my title track video before this came out. It's the mini album that I had been waiting for so long, because the last dark concept mini album was Infinitize, and I had problems with the title track, The Chaser, because I don't like Wooyeon's lines in it. I don't like Wooyeon's amount of lines in it. I forgot to say that, but that is one of the reasons why Infinitize is lower. Everything on this, it's another one of those albums where I feel like it's good to listen to all the way through, and I enjoy it the most when I listen to it all the way through. But I do still have my favorite tracks on it, because I like Take Care of the Ending, Love Letter is really, really pretty, and Footsteps is something I really like to listen to by itself. So it still has the kind of like, I have my favorite tracks in it, but it's also, if I listen to it all the way through, I'm like not gonna complain. Like, I really like it all the way through as well. Another thing, like with Destiny, that I was just like, Infinite's never gonna have special limited editions, like besides the whole over-the-top thing that happened. Like, that's never gonna be a thing for them. Everybody else, like even Teen Top and whatever, are releasing special limited versions of their albums. But Teen Top's done that a few times, I think. And then suddenly they were like, hi, here's the limited edition Reality, and I think that made it that much more exciting. Also, Reality was great because they did the live like stream performance thing, and they sang a lot of the songs from Reality during that, and everybody sounded so good. And it was one of those things that I was like, you can't not listen to Infinite now and say these boys have not grown at all. They have not grown as singers, they have not grown as performers, because they have grown so much. So Reality is amazing, also because they're going through they were going through you know, Infinite H released another album, and then Sungyu released another album, and that was like until July what we got from Infinite. Well, Japanese single too, 24 Hours. There's just something about Reality. It has the qualities of season 2 that I do enjoy. I can listen to it all the way through and enjoy it, and when I listen to the songs solo, sometimes I do think, oh, I should listen to the entire album, but I will still enjoy listening to like Ending Putake or like Footsteps or Love Letter so funky. The song is just so funky. And then number 2 and number 1, I feel like you already kind of know, well, obviously you know which 2 albums are left if you've been paying attention, but number 2 for me is Over the Top by Infinite. And Over the Top has just always been a really important album because obviously they won their first number 1 with this album, and it was the first full-length album, and it was really, really exciting. But I remember watching Sesame Player and them talking about like how they all were getting really, really busy because they were becoming more popular, and how they were like, oh, this album is so last minute, but they released it and it's still favorite albums. I think out of every album I've talked to, I have the most oh, I like this song kind of songs, like the ones that pull me to them on this album, because 1/3, obviously Nekwaja, you just can't skip that. Nekwaja, but 1/3, TikTok, Julia, and Amazing. So how many is that? 1/3, TikTok, Julia, Amazing. 4 songs out of the 10. I don't really care for Wooyeon's solo on this. It's just never done anything for me, but Sungyu solo because makes up for that. It really does. And Baby Soul was on this as well, which was exciting because I was really like excited for Woollim Girls even at this point. That this album came out so long ago. It came out in 2011, Infinite's busiest year, you could argue, and it's still one of my favorites. And that's really funny because I've been an In-Spirit since the day after they debuted, so it's not like I wasn't around during this time. I was, and it's not like I haven't liked anything they released since then, because when I show you my number 1, which again, if you've been paying attention, you probably already know what it is, or if you know me, you probably already know what it is. It's an amazing album, and I think that I love this so much, and I think that's one of the reasons why season 2 just in my opinion, because like it's still good, but I didn't get those 4 songs like on this album where I was like, I want to listen to all of you still. I listen to at least 1 or 2 of these songs every week, so I listen to a lot of music, you guys. I listen to a lot of music, but 1/3, TikTok, Julia, Amazing. If you've never heard those 4 songs from Infinite, you need to listen to them because they're great. My number 1 favorite Infinite album, of course, is Evolution, the other black album that you can't really see the front of, but that's okay. I love everything about Evolution. I've loved everything about Evolution since it was released. The only thing I don't like about Evolution is Sungjoong's hair. Can You Smile, History, Voice of My Heart, and I don't know. There is no song on this album I don't like. I like all of them. Every single one is oh, I really want to listen to that song. Again, this came out January of 2011. It is January of 2016, and these songs are still some of my favorite songs. BTD is my favorite title track from Infinite. In my opinion, is one of the best concepts they've ever had. BTD, the music video is amazing for BTD. I think that if Woollim had as much money as they do right now, they would have done some incredible things with that music video, but even with the little bit of money that they had at that point, they did some incredible things with this album and this concept. And like I said, I've said this so many times before, that I really wish that Infinite had been popular back at this time. I wish they had debuted not under a different company, but if Woollim had been considered a bigger company, and so they got more attention when they debuted and when they came back, because I feel like I was one of the few, like obviously I wasn't, and I know that I wasn't, but I just remember freaking out about how much I loved this song, and everybody around me, minus like 3 people, were like, that's nice, I just don't really care about Infinite. And so the fact that they are more popular now than they used to be is just, it's great, and I love seeing Infinite everywhere. But I think that like First Invasion was great, and it really reeled me in, and when I heard they were having a comeback, I was really excited about it. And I think that this album is part of the reason that I consider Infinite my ultimate group. This album is why I consider Infinite my ultimate group, because I think if they hadn't released this album, if there had been something different, maybe a different song or something different in the video or the concept, I think that it wouldn't have impressed me as much as it did. And it really impressed me. And now, after going through all my Infinite albums, I'm really sad that I have to package them up. I'm just really sad about it. Those are my top 9 Infinite albums. Consider doing something like what are my favorite subunit albums, but there's so many subunit things planned for this year that I just don't want to do anything like that because I feel like I'm gonna have to redo this video eventually anyways, because, you know, rankings change even though Over the Top and Evolution haven't moved since they came out. Yeah. Obviously that doesn't mean like I love number 9 could very much be number 1 if you compared it to other groups' albums because they are my ultimates and I really do love everything that they've released, but when it comes down to really critiquing their albums, which is what this video is, I don't know if I consider this a tag because it's not really a tag, but I might title it as a tag. So definitely feel free to do this and rank your favorite groups' albums. I think that it's challenging. It's really challenging. When I sat down and I was like, but I love all of these, like how do I rank them? And so it had to come down to like, well, especially figuring out like the middle section, like I'd say 3 through 5, just trying to figure out what order they're in is like it was really tough for me. If you own all of Infinite's albums or if you've heard them all and you're in spirit, let me know what your ranking of these albums would be in the comment section down below. Or for your favorite group, if you wanted to rank their albums down below, definitely do that as well. And yeah, I will see you guys very soon. Bye!